All right, let's try this again, guys. Sorry for the technical difficulty. Shane here from the Brookings Home Team, powered by Century 21. Monday morning, we're just a tad past 8:15, but that's all right. We still got Mark here from Great Western to jump in and talk to us today about Monday morning mortgage tip. Before we do that, excuse me, I'll have all of his information on the top, on the bottom, on the sides, wherever your device allows you to see that. So be sure to reach out to him if you have any questions. And as always, feel free to share or tag this video with anybody else that you feel would be of interest in it. So, Mark, what do you got for us today?
Yeah, thank you very much. Good morning. At the end of last week, Fair Isaac Corporation, better known as FICO, had released an update saying that they had a new version that they would be rolling out with for a credit scoring model. I guess essentially what I gathered from the article, there was a Market Watch article on MSN, and they're basically saying that it would almost create like a wider gap between the good credit and the bad credit. People with better credit would almost get rewarded more, and then people that had some lesser credit scores might get dinged a little bit more or less. And then they were eventually they were also going to use like trending data. So like over the last 24 months, they'd start putting together trending data. And essentially, I think what they were saying is there was a quote on here that they had, and it said, FICO score 10 will weigh personal loans more heavily, penalizing borrowers who consolidate debt with personal loans and then choose to rack up more debt. So I guess essentially if you're going to consolidate loans and then you start paying it down over time, they're going to reward you for that. If you consolidate debt and then that debt remains the same, or you take out additional debt over a 24-month period, even though you're making your payments on time, you're not going to get rewarded for those timely payments as much as if that debt was going down. So at the end of the day, they basically said there's different scoring models. So while different companies will be close, not everybody's the same. Just like iPhones have, iPhone 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's different scoring models out there, and not every creditor is using the latest version as well. So realistically, what that means for you, the borrower, the three main things with credit still apply. That's making your payments on time. It's not having too many inquiries, in recent months, and then the loans that you do have out there, it's keeping your balances as low as possible. So I wouldn't get too hung up in the new version. I don't think a lot of people are going to start using it right away. I think some of that takes time with technology and just implementing some of those things. But and we have other episodes out there where it talks about how to improve your credit and stuff as well that you've done. But it's always something to be cognizant of, especially with the buying season coming around here in the spring, and take care of your credit.
And you bring up a good point. That's why I wanted to, I'm glad you brought this up here today, because it is, as we get into spring here, obviously historically that's our busiest time, or can be our busiest time, not only for sellers but for buyers as well. So you want to have all your ducks in a row before you go out there and start looking at those homes, so you know exactly where you sit qualification wise, that your payments are right where you want them, what the range of the price of the house is going to be, where you want to be at that, and your FICO score affects some of that there. So excuse me.
And throughout the process, I mean, the FICO score can affect rate, eligibility. I mean, it does come into play. So. And
I'd heard too that this can affect about 40 million people here in the United States. Whether it's dropping you maybe roughly 20 points, or it could be increasing you by 20 points. So, but about 40 million people, one way or the other. But all right, anything else? Good stuff.
No, I mean, if anybody has any specific questions, I can certainly try to help. I'm not a financial advisor or expert, but I see enough credit reports that I can help guide you on how to improve your score as well. So
perfect. Love it, Mark. So thanks for joining me again today.
Yeah.
We'll be back next week for our next Monday morning mortgage tip. Super Bowl weekend, guys. Who you got? 49ers or Chiefs? This guy's got the Chiefs.
Go Chiefs.
Sorry, guys. I'm a 49ers fan this week. Have a good one. We'll see you later.
Thank you.